Okay, this is a CVT guitar lesson from my buddy Kevin, and this is basically the caged chords and solos. Um, I know there's a lot of stuff out there in YouTube world, and you seemed a little confused on it. Hopefully, I can deliver for you on this. What I want to do is show you the idea with this is we have what's called our campfire chords, right? That's everything here. With the cage system, people get after a few years or months in some cases, they get a little burnout of having to play all their chords right here. What about all the rest of the neck here that we can utilize? Well, the cage system for chords is totally going to blow that door wide open for you. So what we're going to use is we're going to start with C major. This is open position. And I'm going to show you how you can take it and move it around up the neck, spelling caged, C-A-G-E-N-D. So you'll have 5 places to choose from, starting down here, working our way up the neck. So C major, you know this, 3A, 2D, and 1B. Okay, so that's the C, first letter of caged, right? The second place is the root note, 3rd fret A string. Well, we're already there, but we got to put our index there. And then 5th fret D, G, and B. Sorry, I got bad allergies. And then 3rd fret on the high E. Now this is, I normally don't play it like this. It's really cramped. But I need you to see for this to make sense for you. Right here, we have an A major shape, right? But it's a C major chord. It's not an A major chord. Our root note is a C. There's our major chord. So we spelled C with a C major chord. Now we're spelling the letter A, but it's a C major chord. And the next letter we need would be a G, right? Well, there's a G up here. And what we're going to do is make a G chord with these fingers. So 8, 7, and 8. That's E, A, E. And with our index, we got to bar the 5th fret D and G and B, right? Because we have to compensate for the opens of a G major chord that would be over here. Not the easiest chord to get to, but middle neck, middle range tonality. Let's try that again. We have to lower the thumb here. So see, we're using our G major shape, but it's a C major chord. There's our C note. All right. The next shape we want is a E major shape. So C, A, G, E. We need a C note for our root. It's right there on the 8th fret, but we need to use our first finger. Now here is, when people learn bar chords, this is probably their first one. Bar the 8th fret all the way down. Play 10A, 10D, 9G. Well, what does that look like? Looks like an E major chord if you went over here. And each one of those, in your mind, the more you do this, the muscle memory will kick in. So say you're doing a reggae song, and a lot of times it's higher tonality. You may want to choose this chord because this doesn't sound quite right. Watch. It works, but you get that higher tonality here. One left. We need the D shape to spell caged. This is our 5th one. We need a C root. This one's a little tough too. Let me form our D major or our D chord first. 12, 13, 12, 13, 12. There's our D major shape if you went over here. But it's not a D major chord unless we play it here or up here. So what we're going to do, we're doing a C major. There's a C note right here, fret 10 on the D string. So now you can play a C major 5 times anywhere up here. And obviously, you can transfer it to whatever key you're playing. The cage system isn't, exclusive to just C. You can use it anywhere. Okay, so I just use C because it's a lot. You can get a good idea of the neck without having to come back around the backside or anything. And you can keep going from there, you know. My next spot for a C would be here. But see, that's an octave up from this. And we've already spelled caged. So hopefully you get that idea. Run through those. And we're going to talk about involving this with soloing here in a second, where you visually look at the notes in there. When you're soloing, you can utilize those notes as well as others in the pentatonic scale or the natural or just the standard 7-tone scale. The next thing I wanted to do with you, though, is give you a little simple chord progression. I know since you're recording an album and everything, so I know you know how to record. I would suggest taking something like this and recording it. We're going to go C major to A minor, and here's all it is. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So your strum pattern is... I know you can do that. So we throw it once over the C, once over the A minor. The reason I'm doing this, I'd like you to record yourself maybe for a minute or 2 minutes just playing that simple rhythm and be able to come back and experiment with doubling other chords using the caged chords with it. So, say you didn't want this lower sound, we can use the A form of the C major and go like this. And I'm going to do the same with the A minor. Okay, that's the same as... but we're involving the caged system of chords. And I went to this A minor just because I want to keep it in close proximity to the C chord. For simplicity's sake, and tonality-wise, things tend to sound better when they're closer together like that. The next spot, say you don't like that one. Well, we can use the G form of the C and go. Oops, what happened there? Lost some volume. And then, wait a minute here. Not sure what happened there. Strange. 7, 9, 10, 8. So this is just another spot. It's using a D minor form to play the A minor. Tough ones though, right? So you can tell I don't utilize that one as much. But you want to learn them. Okay, that's 3 places you can play that chord progression. Okay, using the C form, the A form, and the G form. Moving on, we can use the E form now, which would be barring fret 8, right? There's our C major, down, down, up, down, up, and then I went to this for a A minor. It's a root flat 3, 5, which is a A minor formula. 12, 10, 9, A, D, G. Not the fullest chord, but just to give you the idea, okay? So there's 4 places to do it. We've got one more, 10, 12, 13, 12. So if we're going to go use the D shape, C major chord, really high, right? Oops. Using the bar chord, 12th fret A all the way down, and then 14, 14, 13, D, G, B. That's your A minor shape. So, and that's the closest one to it, which is why I use that. So you would have. Utilize the whole neck, and we took a 2-chord progression, which could be part of a song or whatever, and maybe you want to overdub 2 tracks, 3 tracks. You can play this, take the first one, the third one, and the fourth one. Stack them all together, and you'll just get this massive wall sound. Or you may just want to not play them in the campfire position, and this blows the doors open for that, okay? So hopefully that helps you on the chord aspect. Cage solos. So I want to explain something. The C major chord here, I want you to see how we can see the notes of the pentatonic scale within there, right here. So when you're soloing, you can pick from, you know, any of those notes. Now we're dealing with pentatonic, so it's a 5-tone scale. There's 2 more notes you can add to that, and I do some examples of that coming up. But check this out. There's our root from our C chord. There's our second fret on the D from the C chord. There's our open G from the C chord. There's our first fret B from the C chord, and our open high E. You'll see those 5 notes, and I circled them in your tabs. Same thing with the A shape of C major, and here's your pentatonic scale. Where are the notes that make up that chord in here? Well, we have, there's our root, there's our 5th fret D, 5th fret G, 5th fret B, 3rd fret E. All those are in, right? So it's just you're playing 2 notes per string, but 1 note on each string of that, of all 5 of those strings, is actually the chord. And when you see your tabs, it'll make sense because I circled everything. Let's do that with the G major shape. And here's your scale. This is the one everybody knows. Okay, where's our notes that build this chord shape? Right here. 2nd note, 8th fret. We have a 7 on the A, a 5 on the D, 5 on the G, 5 on the B, 8 on the high E. And there it is. The E shape. Same idea here. Here's your scale. Where are the notes that make up that shape in the pentatonic scale? Right here. The root, the 10, which is a secondary note on the A string, 10 on the D, 9 on the, 9 on the G, 9 on the G, my bad, 8 on the B, 8 on the E, all circled. Boom. Outlined in your pentatonic scale. It's really cool when you see it that way. The D shape of the C major, and here's our last scale. Okay, where's our notes that build that chord? Right there. 10th fret D, 12G, 13B, 12E. All circled in your tabs, okay? Then, really quick here, I'm sure you know this, Kevin, pretty sure. Just a standard C major scale would be. So, it's important to know that because with the pentatonics, you're only doing 5 of those. So by knowing the standard scale, the 7-tone scale, you can add those in when you're soloing as well. But 5 of them are already in the pentatonic scale, and it's almost like modes. Like the pentatonics, when you go through your different patterns, it's the same notes you just played in that pattern in a different order. And then when you go to the 3rd one, same thing as those, just they're mixed up in a different order. It's 5 notes recycled up and down the neck on the strings. Okay, page 4. Just a little idea for soloing. I didn't go for nothing super big melodic with this. I just want you to see how you can play around with stuff. Like on the top of page 4, through the C shape, right? If you want to solo, you can go. Maybe that's part of your solo. It's kind of mechanical, I know, but that's not the point here. And then maybe you want to use the A shape. You can do that same pattern by going bass, I don't know, it's in there. Arpeggio is what's happening. The G form, you can, same notes basically. The E shape, you can do the same notes here. course, when you're soloing, you know, you may do, you know, playing around with the notes. But I'm looking at the arpeggio to grab my solo notes from. Last one is the D shape, which we know is up here of the C major. And if I want to do something there, I can go. I just added a higher G. You may be like, hey, that's not in the chord. It is. Just an octave G from this. Because I wanted to keep all the note patterns the same for those, so you can see how you can take one, you know, 8-note thing and run it through the different caged scales and chords. C to A minor progression. So the one I showed you earlier that went. This, you could solo over it. And I'm going to take notes from the D shape and go. Or, oops. So, let's try that again. In other words, as soon as that C strum starts, you would do 10th fret G, slide to 12, 13 B, 12. There's our shape. The high G, and then when I hit the 14 G is where you'd switch to the A minor, and I wrote that above it so you would know. That would ring out for a half note, or for 2 counts, and you'd go 13, 12, hammer 13, pull 12, 13 B, 12 G, and then repeat it. So let's try it again. Dang it. Hopefully that makes sense. Loop it so you can, you know, get solid with it. The next one, some notes out of the G shape. Okay? In here, I could go, say, like this. Or that would fit in there. So you, as soon as you start strumming, you got this. When you slide to 7, you've hit your A minor chord, half note, and then 16th notes here. Oops, my bad. 8 pull 5 E, 5 B and G, same thing, move it up a string above. So. That'll fit over. Okay, page 5, our last, no, we have 6 pages, don't we? No, it's 5. We want to use some notes out of the A shape, all right? We can go, so A shape meaning, but it's a C major chord. We'd go, hold on here. Yeah, so. So strumming the C major, you're going. When you slide to the 5 E, that's where you would hit the A minor. Let it ring, half note. Jump back to 3 E. Okay. The C shape, we can go. So what I'm doing is E, open, 3 on the B, pick, pull 1, pull open, do that twice. 2 G, 1 pull open B, 2 open G, 2 pull open G, open hammer 2 D to 2 G. That's where the A minor comes in. So these are 16th notes. So 3, be a dotted half note. This would just come in over one count. 3 pull open E, 1 B, 2 G. 2, 3. 2, 3. Okay, E shape, which is this one. This is our last one here. We could go something like this. Oops. So 8A, slide to 10. I'm highlighting the E major chord shape. 10D, 9G, 8B. So rest and then 9, 10, GD. 8, slide 10B, rest, and then string mute the last 2 down up. Then 8, it's a double stop on the E and B, hammer to 10B. Make sure you hear 2 notes. And then back to the 8s, 10, 8, GB to 9, 8, GB. Now, a couple of these may have a note that's not in that actual chord shape. That's because I grabbed notes from the major scale, which we got 2 extra notes we can use, which is why another thing you can work on is the other spots to play this. Find all your spots to play the C major scale because that's giving you the 2 extra notes. Kevin, I hope this helped you. There's a lot of stuff out there and people teach it different ways, but you should be able to gravitate and draw off of some of these ideas. You got to picture those shapes in your head, and when you're soloing, start thinking of what patterns you want to play. I gave you some examples, so take care, man. Thanks.